There we are, looking good, folks. Hey, it is Kurt Von Annen. I'm the host, and welcome to the Mañana morning check-in. It is June 7th already. Looking good, folks. Whoops. Let me turn that volume off for you. Kurt Von Annen. I'm the host, and welcome to. There we go. Got rid of that for you so you don't hear that echo. And folks, Monday kicked off just as good as Monday can kick off. I went mountain biking last night. And for me personally, whenever I go out mountain biking, get that exercise in, get the heart rate up, it's just this, it's like a physical and mental reset that just clears the way, right? So mountain bike last night, great rest last night, got up this morning and just hit it. In fact, I usually like to make these messages at like 9:30 in the morning, and I look and it's 10:45 and I'm like, oh my goodness, where did it go? Been super productive. So I worked a little bit on Power Sport Academy and got a nice little one-pager together for an appointment setter that I want to work with to help kind of bridge the gap between Power Sports Academy and reaching the dealer owners and general managers out there at these motorcycle dealerships that could really benefit from the training that Power Sport Academy brings to the table. I just read an interesting post on LinkedIn today. I believe it was John Fraser that put it up. I could be wrong, but John Fraser posts up a lot of really cool stuff in fixed operations and dealership operations and things like that. And he posted up a thing that was like, hey, technicians are getting $10,000 hiring bonuses. And how does this, offset the industry, right? So he's talking about shops are struggling to find technicians, and the struggle's been real for a long time. I've been doing technical training, but started with Ducati, prior to 2013. I was working with them under contract. Then I went full time with them in 2013. Then I went to Suzuki in 2016, and I left Suzuki in 2020, right? And so you take a look at all those years, and one of the number one concerns when you talk to a dealership is, how do I find an A-level technician? In fact, I just saw Power Sports Recruiter today that posted up an ad saying, hey, we're currently onboarding Ducati master technicians in the Pacific Northwest. I'm sure anyone that owns a European motorcycle store would love to onboard Ducati master technicians, right? So it's just so interesting to see the way that people are trying to deal, with the issue. And I think back to the basics. I think back to Power Sports Academy. What does Power Sports Academy bring to the table, and how does it help, reduce employee turnover or maintain, consistency in the employment ranks at a dealership? And let's just be frank, most dealerships don't do a really great job with communication. When was the last time there was formal communication training for anybody that was a service writer, service manager, general manager? Right? Even the owner of a dealership. Now in the power sports field, a lot of guys become like they're enthusiasts and they finally get this opportunity to open a motorcycle dealership, and it's their dream come true. And it's amazing, right? Somehow or another, they've been able to amass millions of dollars in some way, shape, or form. And, buy into the dealer agreements, be able to put up the signs that represent the brands they want to represent, and buy some inventory, gain access to the training portals for those OEM manufacturers, and have access to, technicians for how to repair, how to do certain things, and, product information, right? So like, these are the bold new graphics for 2021. And in 2022, it's going to have a hot pink pinstripe. So they get that information, and it's there. But when do they have professional communications training, team building training, HR personality style compatibility training? When do they have these types of things? And when the culture isn't right in a store, when the culture is struggling, that's when you lose people. That's when, communication's broken at the service counter, and customers hate dealing with that guy. And he can't write the tickets right, so the technicians don't know how to deal with the order. Like if a technician gets a repair order, right? Technician gets a repair order, and he looks at it and he's going, hey, what did you mean by this? That's a problem. Technicians need to be able to pick up a repair order and a set of keys, go out to the motorcycle, and start doing something, right? Start doing something that creates not only revenue for the store, but revenue for them. And when that's broken, it creates friction. And that friction erodes the company culture. So if there's friction on the customer side and there's friction on the technician side, well, that service writer's got friction on both sides and he's struggling, right? Service management, same thing. If there's friction between the service manager and the service writers, or the service manager and the technicians, right, then doing those relationship takeovers from the customer perspective is very difficult, right? Because if there's friction with his existing staff and he's trying to do a takeover for a customer concern, it's going to be hard for him to have buy-in from staff and working with that customer, right? So that's more friction. If the dealership principal has friction or a lack of communication that causes friction with the general manager or with the parts manager or with the service manager, or a lack of consistency in how he deals with those three branches, well, then it's very difficult for that dealership to operate in a culture that creates stability. So we say to ourselves, well, what kind of store is going to offer a $10,000 bonus, right? Because that's the post. The post was, some dealerships are offering a $10,000 signing bonus to get qualified technicians. Well, if you're a new shop and you don't have any established culture, and you got to recruit, and you don't have the time really to build from the ground up, maybe you got to give somebody a bonus. Maybe you do have to do, the $10,000 signing bonus. Maybe you got to pay a recruiter, $80,000, $90,000 to get you a hired gun in there, to kind of take the role of tech leadership inside your shop. Maybe that's the case. Okay. But if you're a shop that's been around for 10, 15, 20 years, and you find yourself in a position of having to give out $10,000 hiring bonuses to attract people to your store, the real question has to be, why do I need this hiring bonus to attract people? What is it about my company's reputation? What is it about my company's culture? What is it about the way that I'm perceived as an employer that makes me have to leverage dollars to get people in the door? Let me be clear. Culture is no excuse for underpaying people, right? In fact, paying people properly is part of the culture that makes it legitimate. But we have to start taking a look at, what's the overarching theme and culture of my facility in order to attract the best employees. I went a little crazy over the weekend, and I did kind of a bonus piece for the Power Sports and Marine Service Network on my Facebook page. And I kind of put it up on LinkedIn, and this will go to LinkedIn as well. But I went a little crazy here, right? I started writing all kinds of stuff. And this was just a simple thing. This was, hey, if you've got 3 guys on the clock, three technicians that are pushing motorcycles out of your dealership and pushing them back in the evening, open and close. If you have 3 technicians that are doing that, that's taking away your ability just in that time at $100 an hour for shop rate, which is very, very low, right? Because I try to make the numbers all super, super low and unintimidating. So at $100 an hour for flat rate, that's costing your company $300,000 in revenue to have those bikes pushed in and out every day. Right. And so I had a talk over the weekend where I said, if you were to commit to just hiring, 1 or 2 hourly people to take care of moving the equipment around, your flat rate technicians would have the ability to flag more hours and create that $300,000 in lost revenue for your dealership. But it goes deeper than that. Remember, I was just talking about culture, right? So all of these things are intertwined, right? And this goes for any business. So that's why I'm posting this today as my daily message, because, I'm seeing all these trends on LinkedIn with the posts. I'm seeing, what I've already talked about. And I think people are getting confused. I think they're trying to over segment the conversation, right? Like someone wants to talk about culture. Someone wants to talk about hiring bonuses. Someone wants to talk about, communication training. Somebody wants to talk about, shop efficiency, technician training. You know what? It all has to work. It all has to come together. If you're a business owner, you have to hit on all cylinders in order to succeed, right? Now, COVID's been a great shot in the arm for us to grow our businesses and drag people to the dealerships to do things they haven't done in a long time or ever, right? We've got a lot of new people coming to our industry, or a lot of retreads, right? People that have left for one reason or another, and they're coming back, right? The RV business is seeing a big boost, right? So if the RV business is seeing a big boost, it only makes sense that people want to strap a dirt bike to the back of their RV, go camping, and have something to go trail riding with, right? So think about all of this happening at the same time. And then think about what's your resource to reduce that friction that we were just talking about. And I'm here to tell you, I think Power Sports Academy, ding, 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 is a great solution and a great first, second, maybe third step in reducing the friction in your store and increasing revenue, customer satisfaction, and reducing employee turnover. When I see posts over and over and over again, especially in the LinkedIn environment, where we're looking for this qualified technician, we're looking for this star player, we're gonna $10,000 signing bonuses, right? When I see these posts happening, it's a very strong signal to me that something else is broken and needs to be addressed. And if we can start reducing the friction and increasing the culture at your facility, you're going to attract the people that you want. Now, remember this example here, right? And you can look it up. You could say, okay, what did Kurt talk about on, it's on the Mañana No Mas website. It's on the LinkedIn social thread. It's on the Mañana No Mas YouTube channel. And it's also on the Facebook page for Power Sports Marine Service Network, right? So there's plenty of ways to see this talk. And it was a quick talk. It was like 10, 15 minutes. But if you follow my example here and you bring in a couple of hourly or part-time people as lot people to move these bikes around, right? They're going to grow. And from a culture standpoint, you're going to be able to provide them the opportunity to start taking some OEM training, right? Hey, I'm going to give you access to the OEM training portal. I'm going to let you take these 3 courses. I'm going to let you take 3 more of these courses. You know what? I'd like you to start helping answering the phone at the service counter after you're done pushing all the bikes out. So I'm going to need you to take a couple of Power Sport Academy communication courses, right? They have a course in there on how to use the phone effectively as a sales tool, right? Well, I don't want to be a salesman. Okay, hey, I just need you to take these courses real quick. I want to invest in you. I want to give you the opportunity to see if we can grow you and put you at the front counter for a little bit, right? And so he does that. And then you go, hey, what did you like better? Did you like working on the front counter, dealing with the people and dealing with the money and the cash flow of the business? Or, do you like it better in the back of the shop, kind of doing what the technicians do? Well, I always wanted to be a technician. Okay, great. We've got some OEM courses that I can get you some free access to. I can start to grow you that way. You know what? We have a new lift we're going to put in. That's a new quick lane lift. And that's where customers that buy tires or just need an oil change, right, without an appointment, they want to wait for it. We're going to assign you that lift. We're going to give you the starter toolbox. We're going to get you started over here, and you can do tires and oil changes until we can grow you into a more permanent position and see you grow as a technician. And what you're doing there is you're creating a culture that's going to allow somebody that wants to grow. Now, your B-level technicians and your A-level technicians are going to see that you're investing in a C-level technician, right? Now, it might cause resentment or it might create team. It's up to how you communicate it and how you build this culture within your shop, right? A B-level technician is going to be like, wow, why are we doing all this for the C-level guy? No one gave me that kind of a boost when I was starting out. And you say, yeah, that's a good thing you just brought up there, buddy. You know what? It looks like you're a little bit behind in your online training with this brand, and this brand. If you can get caught up on this brand, and this brand, I would like to reward you with A, B, and C, right? 50 cents an hour flat rate, 75 cents an hour flat rate, an extra Saturday off. I don't know. You know the culture of your store, right? But you're also in charge of building the culture of your store. And that comes through a lot of communication training, leadership training. And then, of course, once we build the demand through the customer relationship being restored and communication being better with the service writer and service manager, once we take care of those, then we can start working on efficiency and productivity processes that'll handle the new demand that your new culture is providing for your business. And folks, I've done this, I've implemented it, tens and tens and tens of times. And the results are always astounding to me. Even shops that don't have the best result for the bottom line, right? Let's say they're in a recessed market, they're in a rural area and there's just not much customer flow no matter what, right? there's still the opportunity for growth, and there's still opportunity for better communication and better culture and reduced employee turnover, right? Because every time you turn an employee over, there's costs there. There's HR costs, there's training costs, there's lack of productivity and efficiency costs. And so the more that we can not coddle, but the more that we can embrace the relationship as a group, right? As a network of people working together, the more profitable it's going to be. And I tell you, I'm sold out on this 100%. So if you own a motorcycle dealership or you're the general manager of a motorcycle dealership, I would strongly encourage you. This is your call to action. Go to the Powersport Academy website, powersportacademy.com. Take a look at what we offer in there, and then reach out to me. Have a quick call. Let's do a 15-minute discovery call, and let's see how we can do this. You can hit me up on LinkedIn, on LinkedIn Messenger. Hit me up and say, hey, I'd like to do a 15-minute discovery call. I'll send you a Calendly link. You can pick the time that works best for you. We'll jump on. I'll value your time. I'll answer any questions you have. And you know what? If you want access to the back of the site so you can see what it does, I can give you a screen share on a subsequent call or something like that. But my main thing is I'm seeing the posts everywhere, and I'm saying, I have answers to help with this. I have experience to help with this. I've got 20 years of dealership experience, a decade of OEM experience. I understand what both sides of the table want, and I understand what it's like to run a service department with not so great techs, adequate techs, and fantastic technicians. I have had the opportunity to work in shops where everything was working great, and I've had opportunities to work in shops where everything wasn't working great. And so being able to take that experience in combination with the book that I published, Service Writing in Black and White, and take all that and build it into this thing called Powersport Academy, it's just been phenomenal. Now, we're done with that commercial. That's over. The other thing I want to talk about is we were killing it. We were doing a daily inspiration email. We were doing a daily message here on YouTube and LinkedIn. And I took the email down to a weekly email. So you're going to see the inspiration email come out later today if you're already on the list, which would be great. I've got some good content in there for you this week. I'm going to try and release those on Mondays moving forward. And then the daily Mañana no Mas morning check-in is still happening. Obviously, I'm here talking to you now. So that's still going. And Mañana no Mas just got hit up today for a potential contract with a major company to make a training site for them. They were looking for a training coordinator, and that conversation is turning into, hey, let's just run the whole training thing under contract. And I love those conversations. Here's why I love those conversations. I love to create. I love to build. I love to learn about other people's cultures and their communications and how to reduce friction, everything I just talked about with power sports. But it's so cool to be able to take something and build it into a virtual example, like so these training sites that I build it into a virtual example, and then give that company the power and the ability to enable their people to interact with them in a more real way than just some static website somewhere, right? So when you can incorporate, Zoom conferencing into your lessons and your courses, and you can incorporate, social learning tools where people that are part of the learning organization can actually friend each other inside the group and start to have conversations with each other and build communities within the learning community for that corporation. That's fantastic. Now, the bigger the corporation, the more fun it is, right? Because there's more people and that interactivity really gets to popping. So that's good stuff. So I'm super stoked about that opportunity. And then, of course, the clients I'm working with in Florida, North Carolina, San Francisco, you all know who you are if you're watching these. I appreciate you, and we are making great headway. The team is working great on your stuff. So I will talk to you very, very soon. I was just excited. Like Monday's just off and rocking and rolling, right? I told you guys last week, I had a little bit of a difficult time last week getting on page with things, mentally being awake and alert. I think the mountain biking yesterday was just the reset I needed, and to hit this week, jumping, moving, and grooving. Okay. So that's the message for today. I hope it hits you where you're at. And I hope that these add value to you as we move along. If you're following along on LinkedIn, another call to action is going to be, hey, if we're not already connected, let's get connected. Once we do, you'll get an invitation from me for a quick 15-minute discovery call to figure out how we can add value to each other. And it's not a sales call, it's a discovery call, right? Sometimes I find people that I just meld well with, and I can refer people to you. You might want to refer people to me. We might want to share some time together on a podcast and help promote each other. Or, it's just that we know who the other person is at the end of that number on LinkedIn, which is kind of a cool deal. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day today, and be productive. Go out and nail it. I'll talk to you guys.